Hi everybody and welcome to a new video here on Retro Bear channel. I'm the Gebs24, no I'm not, I'm Retro Bear, and thank you very much indeed for tuning in. If you're here for the first time, as I always say, thank you very much for finding me. I hope you do enjoy what you see, and feel free to like, subscribe, comment and tick that notification bell for further videos. If you are back here again from previous visits, thank you very much for returning to the Gaming Pantry. We are live as on air, I always point to that, and as many of you will see, I'm wearing the old 49ers shirt because I feel it's safe enough now to dig it out and show my allegiance to the 49ers faithful. Most of you have got absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, which is fine, but for me, I just wanted to get that one out of the way. Now, do apologise if I appear to be shouting a bit this week. I have a ear infection, which is not very pleasant because I can hardly hear anything out my right ear, which is a good job because everything's to my left at the moment. So I do apologise if I do come across being a bit loud. It's just that I'm having a few problems trying to work out whether I'm shouting at people or not. Regular viewers will also know we have a game going in the background, a 360 this week, and you will be watching Grid Autosport. This is the limited black edition, which I think I got for the grand sum of, is it one of my 10p pickups from Bank Holiday? Quite possibly. There's the back for anybody who wants to have a quick look at that. And this is the limited black edition, which has the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG Coupe Black Series, the black edition white Raven West liveries, 20 black edition online livery patterns, and 10 new premium sponsors with objectives. And that's all it does. So it's not very exciting, but excuse me for that. As always, Le Basel is in the corner, and what we have here is, as always, a pickups video. So this is from Saturday no, not Saturday, this is from Sunday the 27th of October, because Saturday the 26th of October was an absolute washout. I know most of us were probably stuck inside watching the rugby, but it was a very, very, very wet day, so I didn't go anywhere. Decided it's best not to catch pneumonia, as I've already got an ear infection, it'll probably finish me off. So just decided to leave it. So what I did was I went out on the Sunday to a CEX, which is local to me, because they tend to open on Sundays, and just went round there with the sole intention of picking up a number of Wii games for the collection, because as you know, I'm on a bit of a Wii crusade at the moment. And actually, I sort of went there to pick some Wii games up. And also, for the first time ever, I actually saw you can do two stages. I went around and got the Wii games first, because I worked out there were 14 that I wanted to pick up. We'll get to that in a second. And then after that, there were another... basically, I thought, well, I'll have a look around and see what else is there, because I thought, well, I'm not going for Wii games, otherwise I'll be in and out and there's no fun in that. Because if I made a list beforehand, there's no fun. So I'll make a list of the Wii games, I won't see what else they've got, and I'll pick up other stuff while I'm there as well. And I actually spent up 40 quid, which was... I know most of you probably fallen off your chairs hearing that. I did spend 40 quid. £5 I will add was on a 3D Blu-ray for Mrs. Bear, which she wants for her collection, so I picked that up for her as a bit of a present. But the rest of it was stuff for me. So got a few bits and pieces, a bit more variation expected, and also a peripheral, which some of you may have already known about, but be a nice surprise because most of you won't know what it is. But yes, let's go back to CEX and talk about these games that I picked up, because there should have been 14, and when I got there were only 9 of them. Now I always find that very, very surprising that they have an online stock. You can check a store's available stock. I've had this before, this particular CEX story I told many videos ago, where I'd sort of found that this particular one close to me had got Pandora's Tower and the last story on the Wii. I went up there with the intention of dropping, and again, you may have heard this story before. If you haven't heard this story before, you know, make sure you're sitting down. I was prepared to drop 50 quid to pick these two games up, but when I got there, they'd sold them online. And I said, well, I'm here now with the money. And they said, well, yeah, we sold them online. So that sort of annoyed me a little bit. So when I got there and found out that of these 14 games, I only got 9 of them there, I was slightly peeved, because not all great games, so I'm not missing anything drastic. Of the 5 that I couldn't find, 4 of them they were nowhere to be seen, and one of them was actually a reprinted copy, a cover. Now I know there's another one CX close to me which is for about 15 months now swears it has a copy of the Mummy, the Tomb of the Emperor, the game of the third film, the Brendan Fraser franchise, and they haven't got it. They've never had it, but it still appears on their on the website as in stock in this particular store, which is really weird. I should go and tell them. Which is why I always say it's a bit of a hit and miss thing to do that. I've done it again tonight. I've actually I've written another list down there, as you can see, of games that they've got in another branch. I say that's not close to me. That's going to require a bit of a day out. But I'm sort of thinking, it is a bit of a day out, because if I do go out there, it's a long sort of way to go. Are they going to have all those games there? Can I justify spending the travelling money to get there and then find that they haven't got half the stuff that I'm expecting to get? I don't know. Am I best off going to somewhere reasonably local where I've always had decent success? I don't know. I'm just rambling now, so we'll just move on from that. So disappointed. So I got those games. Before I'll do the Wii stuff afterwards. We'll do some other stuff first. I will just say this as well to the girl who worked behind the counter of that particular branch of CEX, Merry Hill Shopping Centre. What a fantastic customer service she offered, because some of the discs, she said, "Oh, I'll run these through the cleaner, they look a bit scratched." Didn't have to do it. She did. Also worth noting that the other stuff I picked up when I went round again, I got somebody else serving me, didn't offer to clean any of the discs. And I don't think he looked at them properly anyway. And it's a guy I've had before and who's deliberately avoided me, but we appear to have got over that now, because that's the first time he served me in about 2 years. And he didn't have a problem this time, because last time I took a pile of games up to him and he said, "Oh, you want to buy all these?" I was like, "Well, yeah, that's why I'm in the shop. I'm just moving it around until I pay for it, But he actually served me this time, and although he did offer me a bag when I said I didn't want a bag, and what else did he do? He did something else. Got something else wrong. Oh yes, he was going to the Blu-ray I bought. He was going to give me the standard Blu-ray edition, not the 3D version. So it's like, is that the 3D version? Oh. Anyway, we're getting better. At least he served me this time, because I did think when I got to the end of the queue, he deliberately picked his bag up in his coat and he walked out the back, and I thought, well, he's just avoiding me now. But no, he came back. So anyway. Right, so let's see what else we got then. So some pickups, short pickups this week. That's unusual, isn't it? Never use short pickups. So what have we got? So let's have a Gamecube game, shall we? And I paid £2 for this one, and I've got this game on PlayStation 2. I thought I had it on the Xbox as well, but I don't. So I have this, and we are looking at Spy Hunter, which us of the older generation amongst us will know that this is a remake of the old arcade and home computer classic. It's got the warranty card in there, and there's also the standard game Nintendo warning notice: do not play this game or your brain will explode. Any little thing into little waivers that they put in there to stop us buying things. So yeah, that's Spy Hunter. They said that cost £2. So I've noticed that I'm not sure whether some of the games have come down in price or whether some of the cheaper games have slightly nudged up, but you can't find many Gamecube games in CX under £2 now. There were a couple others I looked at, which of the 3 I looked at, this was probably the one I would have picked up most of all. I can barely read this stuff on the back of it, but it looks quite interesting anyway. I can't even read that. But yeah, so Spy Hunter on the Gamecube. I always say, if you see a Gamecube game out and about, get it. But they are just, the lower level just creeping up a bit now. I think that's 52 Gamecube games I've got, something like that. Not about 10% of the overall release for a system I had originally in the first place. But anyway, one original Xbox this week for you, and I've already got this game on the PlayStation too. And it's from a film I don't really care for much either. So why would I buy it? It's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Lots of flying martial arts and things in that. And that Chow Yun-fat on the front, is it? The actor. Some other people I can't remember. It's a Nice looking copy, nice and clean inside. This one cost me £1, so we're back to the usual level. It looks reasonably nice anyway. Does that stop working? No, it's gone to sleep. It's gone to sleep. There we go. You'll have to tell me if it happens again, because I won't know otherwise. That's a problem. I remember the Xbox 360. There's a problem that sometimes you do it like that. It goes into sort of sleeping mode. I don't know where I can turn it off or not. I've not played on it enough, so I don't really know. Oh yeah, that from 5 minutes ago. That's the back of the box. I'm always dubious at the fact that it's got instructions possibly in Dutch or German as well. So I'm always very suspicious. The more languages you find on the back of a box, the less good the game is. Doesn't really stop me buying them, does it? But yeah, it's another one for the original Xbox collection. Xbox 360. There are a couple this week. Please, now I saw somebody pick this up a few weeks ago, so I've gone and done it now. And this is Viking Battle for Asgard, which has got nothing to do with Thor, has it? But it is by Sega. Now it's down the bottom there. Sega. It's not like it's a sign of quality or anything, but I do like Sega related things. So again, you'll notice all these come in manuals as well this week, which is lovely, because sometimes recently we've had a few problems with manuals. Not sure if they're any good. It's got an 18 certificate, so I dare say it's be fairly violent. That was £1 from CX. Now this one I bought because it's maybe Halloween, but I'm not going to play it because I dare say I'll be scared. Something, yeah, absolutely petrified to play something like this. I could have bought it a couple of weeks ago when I was out in Weston with Mrs. Bear, because she said, "Oh, pick this up," she said, and I said no, because it's a horrible looking copy and I can get it better for the same price elsewhere. So I did. The good news is it's a Kinect game. The bad news for me is it's the Rise of Nightmares, also from our friends at Sega. I mean, just that cover there puts me off. I don't do survival horror or things like that or whatever. Just don't find it interesting in the slightest. Another word for being scared. Nice and complete, decent copy, and it's you thought you could escape, you were dead wrong. Well, we'll see about that. It says, can you throw it through hordes of the undead? Well, do I need to add anything to that? Can you tear them apart with chainsaws, axes and your bare fists? Time will tell. Can you rescue your wife from the clutches of an evil madman and escape his nightmarish plans for your both? Well, I'd like to see what the plans were first, just in case it was worth saving myself. I'll have to edit that bit out. Survive one hellish night as you fight against terrifying enemies using the hands-free controls of Microsoft Kinect, which is also another incredibly scary thing because they don't work sometimes as well as they should do. But I don't mind Kinect actually. I think it's all right. It serves as a nice function. I like the way it looks. Sort of like that giant sensor bar thing. But yeah, so another Kinect game for my collection for £1. No, I don't think I'm going to play it much. Just looking at the list of people in here, and yeah, the generic sort of characters they have. People who meet the game. This was the guy that sort of stuck out immediately. You know, it's Star Trek with the guy. That's what the old theory about the guy with the red shirt ends up sort of dying, or the crew member in the red shirt. It's that bloke there in the suit. You can just see down the bottom here, called Peter, who is a Dutch businessman. Automatically I would say would be otherwise known as zombie fodder. Anyway, that was a quid. So another Kinect game for my collection of Kinect games, which is smallish but getting bigger. Right, now fascinating news. PlayStation 2 games. I've got 3 this week, and fascinatingly enough that pretty much now blocks out the whole wall which is over there. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at my 100th video, because you'll see the wall-to-ceiling PlayStation 2 collection. And like I said, that is it. There is no more space for that now. I have got no idea where that is going to go. The only thing that I can do with it now is get rid of the PlayStation 3 stuff, but I don't know where that's going to go. I'm just going to stop talking about space, as I keep banging on about it, and I don't really want to sort of keep repeating myself. So I'll save the best PlayStation 2 game to last, because that's always a good thing. So let's take a look at my new obsession, which is fishing games. I don't know why I appear to have just fallen in line, and I now actually look for a fishing game. In fact, so much so that when I saw this game on the shelf, you wonder why. I sort of looked at it, I thought, oh, fishing game, fantastic, off the shelf. Oh, 50p, I'll have that. And it was, well, it is Bassmaster Fishing. Now, please bear in mind, I have no interest in fishing whatsoever. I've never been fishing. I've never watched fishing on the telly. It doesn't excite me, interest me in the slightest. But fishing computer games, for some reason, are just becoming an obsession. They're taken over from dancing and singing games, and games involving horses. It's a very nice copy. Further research actually shows out that there was a limited edition version of this, or a version which came with a fishing rod, which I'm now absolutely fascinated to try and find, because I like interesting peripherals. So, feel the action of the world's #1 fishing sport. Yeah. Fight some of the toughest freshwater sport fish around. What, fight some of them? Literally. No. 10 different tournament types, 20 unique lures. Lures? Depends where you come from. Experience the fight underwater. Wow. That's Street Fighter with snorkels and gills and fins. Customise the weather and time of day. Well, that's always interesting. You want to walk outside, be sunny, and be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Tutorial mode for beginners. Well, we're using that an awful lot. But again, Retro Bear top tip. There's also those instructions, or those bits of blurb in 2 other different languages, which appear to be French and German. Yeah, so 50p that was anyway. And that goes on to the fishing pile. There may be a fishing series to come. I've nearly finished the game show stuff now. I'm watching the game show stuff on the Wii. I've got one more to go up on that one, and then we'll try and move on to fishing after that. I don't know. It would be a logical step, wouldn't it, really? Actually, to play some of these buggers. Right, now, this is the sort of game where I've got a feeling that people who collect PlayStation 2 games are, at some point in the future, they're going to sort of think, damn it, I need that game. Where is that game? Why can I not go? Why did I walk past that game at 50p years and years and years ago? Because I now need that one game for my collection. I know there's only one person in the world who would have a copy of that. It's Retro Bear. And I would say, yes, I will happily sell you this 50p game for £500 to complete your collection. Maybe a bit more than £500. Depends how badly you wanted it, really. So what I've got for you here, I don't know, that might just be a flight of fancy. It's Strawberry Shortcake, the Sweet Dreams game. Now, if you again are of a certain generation, like moi, you will notice, that appears there's some tapping outside. You'll appear to notice that this was a toy which was around when I was younger. My sister actually had one of these. And it smelt of strawberries, which did exactly what it said on the tin. The idea was they all had distinctive aromas. There was obviously strawberry shortcake, and probably one called lemon meringue, and I don't know, Skittles, something like that. I've got no idea really. I wasn't that into that sort of thing, but yeah, she had one. This is obviously completely low-grade quality software, because it comes on one of the old PlayStation 2 blue discs, which means it's a compact disc rather than a DVD. It appears to be cheaply licensed. The manual is just the manual doesn't really tell you an awful lot. Lots of pictures, which means there's very little gameplay here. Quick synopsis for those who are really excited about this one. The sweet and helpful Strawberry Shortcake loves spending time with her friends and is always looking out for them. Lately, some of her friends have not been able to dream at night, so they've been asking Strawberry for help. She decides to go to the Land of Dreams to build new dreams for her friends, but this is no easy task. Help Strawberry by guiding her on her way to the Land of Dreams and the Dream Factory as she's faced with different challenges in a quest to help her friends dream again. Well, that's a very decent thing to do. I can't argue with that, can you, really? 5 levels of difficulty, which will be dead easy, super easy, easy, a little bit difficult, and retro bear. And they had to get one of these sort of like fruit related jokes in the back of there. Play and interact with Strawberry Shortcake and her very best friends. Like I said, a few years time at 500 quid, and that can be yours. I buy that sort of stuff, so you don't have to. You have to remember that sort of thing. You don't have to sort of like wade your way through this sort of crap on the shelves. I'm the one who goes and buys it, so you don't have to look at it. Right, finally, get to the good game. I must be honest, I'm a little disappointed with this one, and I find it absolutely shocking that first of all I spent £4 on it, which I think makes it the big buy of the week. I know it doesn't, the second big buy of the week, but biggest game buy of the week. But I sort of got it back home and I sort of was reading. I thought, I'm distinctly disappointed. I've seen somebody else pick this up recently. I think it might have been boot sale picking, because he picks up all sorts of great stuff. I'm very envious of some of his pickups. If you haven't checked his channel out, by the way, please do so, because he's got picks up some great stuff. Not just games, Blu-rays, DVDs, audio. He just put up a recent video about his old tape cassette audio, albums and tapes and things like that. If you're from my generation, or at that time, this sort of stuff's making a comeback. I've done the news today that cassettes are actually making a comeback. Can you believe that? Then again, I only found out the other day that I bought REM Monster's album when it first came out. I loved that album when it first came out. Everybody hated it. It's just been remastered and redone because it's now an underappreciated classic. But I had it on tape as well, which reminded me of that. So there's the tangent. We've gone round the corner, out the back, and we're talking about games. So this one is... so I saw this video, I thought, I must pick that up. I haven't seen it properly yet. I saw it for £4, and it is Sega Classics Collection. Unforgettable gaming history. Now, I mean, like most of us, I've got so many gaming compilations of Sega games, it's ridiculous. I've got the Mega Drive compilations on both PlayStation 1 and Xbox 360. In fact, I was playing Golden Axe last night on the 360. In fact, I played through all 3 versions of Golden Axe and getting more and more annoyed as I went through it. I used to finish Golden Axe 2, not say standing on my head because that'd be a complete lie, but so easily on the Mega Drive back when it first came out. And could I... Not last night. It was like I never picked up a control pad before in my entire life. I am determined to go back and plough through it, but it was 10 times more difficult than I remember it being. Anyway, yeah, so this one... we're talking about that one, aren't we? Come back. There we go. What have we got here? So the games on here are Outrun, Space Harrier, Tant R - Bonanza Brothers. I can't understand why it's the same game. I don't understand what they're doing. Fantasy Zone, Golden Axe, Virtua Racing, Monaco Grand Prix, and Columns, which is on every single compilation ever. It's even on Nintendo compilations, but it should be. I was slightly disappointed to get back to find out that these actually are sort of basically remasters or redo-overs of the original game. Outrun obviously got changed because you can't use the copyright on it. A couple of interesting points in it. I'll show you the inside because there I haven't shown you the inside before. But this is great because there's actually a Sega advertisement in here. We do love these bits of odd paper that turn up here. So before I drop that on the floor, right. So what we got? So we got World Championship Snooker. Got Monkey Ball Deluxe. Got Sonic Gems Collection. Spartan Total Warrior. What's that one there? Oh, the Sega Classics collection, which I've actually got. And then we've got Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Riders and some other games, which include Sonic Heroes, Sega Superstars, Sonic Mega Collection, Worms Fort, Under Siege, Altered Beast and Tenchu. And I love finding these sort of things in there. It's just advertising. But I've got most of those games, which is really funny. And there's also advertisement of something called Sega City, which if anybody remembers that, there was a big sort of thing about the time. Oh, Sega are coming back. No, they weren't. They weren't coming back at all. They'd gone. But when I read this manual, I was a bit disappointed to sort of read things about this. It said columns. There's the endless mode, the versus mode, the versus computer mode, which is basically what columns is. But then you sort of read things like Fantasy Zone, where you can play normal, which is the arcade mode with added special stages. There's the arcade, which is and it says remake of the original arcade machine. I'm like, Challenge mode, where you can pick a stage. Golden Axe is a remake of the arcade game with added stages. Versus Battle Time Attack Survival. I agree more. Monaco Grand Prix isn't the same version. It's sort of like I think the best way to describe it is sort of like an overhead from behind up top view, which again there may have been a rights issue, I don't know. Like Outrun, there's a rights issue, and you've got here that you got the arranged version, which is like the arcade version. Unlike the original arcade version, there's only one goal to this mode. Then you've got arcade, but renewal of the arcade version. Space Harrier, I presume, it sounds to me like it may be the closest one to the actual game itself. Tantor and Bonanza Brothers. Not sure why they put those two together, but I haven't played it yet, so I don't really know. Virtua Racing, yeah, so they're not quite the remakes, and as I say, with a lot of these on here, some of these weren't on those Mega Drive compilations. They didn't make it to the Mega Drive Mini, so I know Space Harrier 2 did, I think, but Outrun didn't. Don't think Virtua Racing did either. It could have done. I don't know, but some of these, yeah, I don't know, I'm a bit disappointed with that. I've got to play it first to sort of work out whether I'm happy with it or not. Right, so there's over there. Right, so we come to the interesting peripheral of the week section. And while I was having bought those games, that was the second time I went. So I bought my Wii games, and then I went round CX for a second time and picked all those up. And I've been looking behind the counter, as you do, and they usually have stuff, and they put some of their retro stuff up there, and they got like the N64 transfer pack and the Rumble pack and Dreamcast controllers up there. And there are two things which caught my eye. The first thing that caught my eye was the Mega Drive arcade stick, which, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, is basically, if you remember the old arcades where you had joystick and a couple of buttons, they bought a Mega Drive one full use with that system, which is a great big sort of black slab of plastic with a joystick there and the 3 Mega Drive buttons. And I thought, oh, that looks quite good. I quite like that. But it was 18 quid, and I thought, I'm never really going to use it, because I was just trying to think on the way home in the car, when was the last time I used a joystick? In fact, the last time I played on anything with a joystick probably would have been the Turtles arcade machine at the computer, not museum, is it? The National Video Game Arcade, when it was in Nottingham 2 years ago, before it's moved to Sheffield now. So that was the last time I literally played anything with a left-hand joystick and right-hand buttons. Like most things now, it's all done through one of these, isn't it? So, God, that's getting ridiculously hot, 'cause it's on top of the 360, that's why. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. If it had the box with it, I might have been tempted. So I'm still spending birthday money here, so I thought, well, it might be nice to treat, just have something in the box. But I hadn't got a box with it, so I thought, no. And then right next to it was something I thought, that's a good idea, because I mentioned before, I do have handheld games, but I don't tend to play them. I don't play handheld games because I'm not so good with a small screen now. That's one of the reasons. But I don't like sitting there with something like, especially with you've got Gameboy, unless you got one of these. Well, I've got one of these attachments, give you extra light, but they don't work. They never work properly. And I'm not going to be stupid enough to pay 120 quid for somebody who's modified one with a backlight. It's just like, why? I'll play it when it's light. I'll play something else when it's dark. But I thought if I buy one of these, I can play all my handheld games without too many problems. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Retro Bear fans, we have the Super Game Boy, which is in rather lovely condition. I had a quick look at it. Yeah, I mean, this is just... oh, that's the back of it, which just gives you absolutely no reason. Probably best if I show you that. That's where the old... in fact... there we go. So remember, a few weeks ago, I bought a Game Boy game. So you just slot your Game Boy game in the top there. There we go. In it goes. And then what that will do, you put that into your Super Nintendo. I'm not going to get that out because otherwise we'll have bits falling all over the place and I may actually go off the air. What you do, plug that on the top of your Super Nintendo, and then what that will do is then put the Game Boy game onto your big telly, and then you'll be able to play that game, and where possible it will provide some basic colour. So I was absolutely super chuffed. Now, years and years ago I could have bought one of these for £5. And I should have done, really, but I didn't. This one set me back 12. But, like I said, birthday money. And it's, you know, allowing me to play the Game Boy games properly. And, of course, we can do that. I can record them as well, which gives me another outlet. So I was quite pleased to get that. I know it's probably a bit more than most people would spend. Obviously, you've got no box with it. You're just loose. You got to love the guy in CEX who served me that. I said, can I have the Super Game Boy off there? He said, which one's that? So he's like, you know, top shelf, move along, in the middle, that's it. No, not that one there, that's it. That's the one, yeah. And he sort of got it back to the counter. I shouldn't take the mick because he was being desperately innocent about it. He sort of got it back and goes, is there a box for this? I don't know. Unlikely. Is this it? He had got absolutely no idea what it was. I sort of reserve that for people who've got no idea who the Marx Brothers or Laurel and Hardy were. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that was the interesting peripheral of the week. Probably purchase of the week, that one as well. And I'm just happy to have that. So, right now, I did confide in a couple of people over the last week or so that I may possibly be angling towards going to a full Wii collection. I don't know what gives me that impression, but yeah, we're getting to the 50% level now. This is where we're starting to get a bit, not say serious, but it's like, am I past the point of no return? If I slide over 50%, am I then on the fast track to picking things up? And there's still so many games. I can't believe there are so many games that I haven't got, and a lot, and some of them aren't all that. You know, in terms of cost, there are costly ones for it. Don't get me wrong; it's not a system where everything is cheap. There are some, you know, I think the Fire Emblem game at the moment, CX sell it for 60 quid. Shadow's Tale, the Xenoblade Chronicles, Last Story. Again, games there that go over 40 quid. If you see them in CX or anything like that. So there are some expensive games, but a lot of the games are sort of like 20 quid and under. You know, for somebody who's got that, it's out of my range to do something. That's why I buy all the £2 and under ones, or in some cases £1 and under. In fact, a lot of that stuff's cost me less than £1. Some haven't. The Mario one, which you can see, I had it then. The red one, just put me here. That set me back £8. When I do the collection, I'll be able to sort of point out the more expensive ones that I picked up. There aren't many of them paid. There's 2 of them I paid, maybe up to 5. I paid more than 10 to 15 quid for. But all this is just low grade fodder. And remember what I said earlier. I pick these games up so you don't have to. Let's start off with the quality titles. Here we go. to be a drum roll here or something. Insert a drum roll or something exciting, or some sort of firework going off in the background. That's just me emphasising the word firework in case I decide to do something really silly, like put a graphic in. Next up then, so first up for this week's collection is, this week's first game is Whiteout. No, it's Dora Saves the Snow Princess. Yes! Another Dora. Actually, it's the first Dora the Explorer game I've got, I think. Or the first title I've got of Dora the Explorer where she's not in something else. And amazingly, all these have got the manual and the disc with them. So there we go. Dora Saves the Snow Princess. There is actually another Dora title. I'm going to do with this. Just knock the microphone there. Just stop that. There's the back of the books. Now, team up with Dora and Boots. Now, I'm pretty sure Boots is a monkey. Only because I've looked at backs of copies of this and other games before with Dora in it. But you know, Boots is usually named for a cat. So it's obviously some sort of cat monkey issue going on there. Team up with Dora and Boots to save the Snow Princess when a mean witch casts a spell upon her. In this wintry wonderland, you'll skate in a frozen pond, ride a speedy dog sledge. Sounds interesting. Snowboard down an icy mountain, stop Swiper, possibly Tinder related, and more. I couldn't say Swiper right, but anyway. Even flap your arms to help Pegasus fly. I can see the comments now. We demand the video. Each magical movement of your Wii remote helps Dora save Snowy Forest. Yeah. Grown-ups can join in. There we go. Yeah, yeah. This is ages 3 to 5 and sad men over 40. Yeah, there we go. Yes. So yeah, that was £2, I think. I know, but you've got to start picking. These are ones missing now. It's like I've got to pick these up while I had the chance to. I wouldn't usually pay £2 for that. Ooh, God. Right, back to reality. Now, regular viewers, on which I think there's maybe 3 of you, will remember that occasionally I'll come across games that I have difficulty in picking up, i.e. I'll buy a copy of something and then for some reason there's a problem with it. The one that sort of springs to mind immediately is Popstar Guitar on the Wii, which is either advertised with the handheld guitar attachment or not. Usually when it's advertised with the handheld guitar attachment, it's been brought in incorrectly and they haven't got it. Twice I've tried that and I actually managed to pick it up in the box in a charity shop, which was a far better deal than what I would have got elsewhere. This is another game I've had a problem with, where I bought it and 1, they couldn't find the disc, and 2, they gave me the wrong disc. But luckily this is the right disc. However, disappointingly, it is Disney Sing It Party Hits, which surprisingly I haven't got. But the great thing is it is the right disc. I'm trying to contain any excitement I might have had for that announcement. The problem is I don't recognise half the stuff on the back of it. I more recognise the artist, so I can see that there's the Black Eyed Peas. There's a lot of songs from Camp Rock 2, which is not Dwayne Johnson on a mince, but I've also got a David Guerra featuring Kelly Rowland track called When Love Takes Over. I'm pretty sure I've heard that. That makes me sound really old now, doesn't it? There's a couple of Demi Lovato tracks. There's a couple of Jonas Brothers tracks. There's a couple of Justin Bieber tracks. There's a Kelly Clarkson track. And Selena Gomez, I think, again, his name I recognise. Unsurprisingly, the Pussycat Dolls Don't Ya isn't on here, because that appears on every single singing game, Disney or not. It's not on here. And also, it says, learn to sing it better with Demi Lovato as your personal singing coach, which I presume is when she's not whacked off her face on something. Sorry, that's a bit unfair, but yeah. I know I called her Demi Lovato a minute ago. Gives you an idea. I've heard of the name. Well, she's never heard of me. Never subscribes to this channel, does she? So never leaves a comment, never rings. Never... Anyway, I think that was 75p. It's going up there with the D for Disney stuff, and it will stay there. Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. We've got some serious issues going on here. A game which needs no introduction, so I'm not going to give it one. Barbie as the Island Princess. I always say to people, buy Barbie games, because some Barbie games do have a value. I appear to have got the two that don't, or two of them that don't. I've also got Barbie's Jet Set and Style up there. I think it may be the PlayStation 2 horse ones that hold the value. Now, I can tell you after just reading the back of the box that this is actually based on a film, which I really must rent. Rent? Who rents films nowadays? Is Blockbuster still open? Gene? Is Blockbuster still open? No. Okay. No. Yeah, so this is features players Barbie, players Rosella, players Prince Antonio, or another favourite character from the movie. Well, that narrows it down a bit, doesn't it, really? I mean, what is your favourite character from Disney's Barbie's Island Princess? Do let me know in the comments below. Experience beautifully recreated locations from the movie. 28. Why are there 28? Why 28? That is such a strange number. It's like 6.5. 20, 25, or 30. Why 28? 28 exciting minigames featuring music, singing, dancing, and more. So it would be singing, dancing, and music. What else? Stunning sets, costumes, music, and actual footage from the movie. Easy pick up and play gameplay developed for players of any skill level and retro bit. I really wish they stopped putting that on the back of these boxes. Yeah. Now, I mean, it's called Disney's. I keep saying Disney. Sorry, Barbie's Island Princess. Severe problems going on at the front because there appears to be an elephant and a raccoon. Now, when was the last time you saw a raccoon on an island? There's a peacock there as well. And an elephant. Elephants don't live on islands. Oh, there's so many inconsistencies with this game. I'm going to have to play it now. How much do we pay for that? $2.50. Seriously? Jeez. I have to buy these games so they don't have to. Oh. Next up, singing with You Sing Girls Night, which stunningly completes my collection of You Sing games for the week. There are only 3 of them. Oh dear, that stopped working. That's the least of my problems. What have we got now? Here we go, another one there. It just shows you the track list. I'll read out some of these. There are some I recognise. Amy Crackhouse with Back to Black and Rehab. Atomic Kittens, The Tide is High, which makes absolutely no sense because the next track after that is Blondie's Heart of Glass. If you're going to pay for Heart of Glass or have that in here, surely you'd have The Tide is High in as well, not some anemic cover version from years later. Dion Bromfield. No, I don't recognise it. Duffy, Warwick Avenue. Girls Aloud, The Promise, which I think is probably the best Girls Aloud song ever. I mean, let's face it, it's up against no competition. Gwen Stefani featuring Akon, Jamelia, Joss Stone, Katy Perry, Kim Wilde, Kids in America, Katie Tunstall, God. LaRue, Not Danny. Oh, Lady Gaga featuring Colby O'Donis. Not my least favourite Lady Gaga tracks. Lily Allen, Nana Cherry's Woman. I think Buffalo Stance would be a much better choice. No Doubt, Don't Speak. Not one of their better. Well, not my favourite No Doubt song. Rihanna's Umbrella. Ella. Repeat. Ella. Sugar Babes, Tattoo, the Cardigans. Oh, the Pussycat Dolls, don't you? Don't you think it's obvious this is going to appear on this game? The Saturdays, Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? I've got no idea. And somebody called Vanessa Carlton and VV Brown. Evidently I've never heard those people either. And that was 50 pence. 49 pence overpaid, I think. Oh God. The hits keep on coming, people. Monster High, 13 Wishes. I'm aware of the Monster High franchise. I am not aware of anything beyond that. But I think there's something like four or five games for the Wii, and up until a few months ago, some of those were quite highly priced. I think there may be one which is quite expensive. Yeah, maybe nearly a £10. I think this was £2. That's the back of the box. Here we go. So the comedy write-ups on the back. Go on a monstrous adventure. Inside the lantern. What lantern? It's up to you to help Frankie Stein and her ghoul friends. Track down the 13 magical mirror shards needed to set things right before it's too late. Now it says Frankie Stein there. Now, obviously a parody on Frankenstein. We'd sort of say up here Frankie Stein. It doesn't work. Travel to the spooky world inside the magic lantern. Jump, climb and swing through mystical levels. Play as your favourite character. Well, there's a misleading statement, isn't it, really? Oh, there's an all-new movie to come out as well. Great. Did it tell you who these characters are? Because I'd like to find out what my favourite character might be. No. Because that is all the information you get in the manual, and then every other page after that is a different language. Italian, French, German, Belgian, Klingon, American. Yeah, so I mean it's yeah. Well, I don't know. I've already got two of these games in the series. This is Winter Sports 2010, the Great Tournament. Can't be that great a tournament because it's only got 8 events in it. Made by the RTL company, which I know enough to know about RTL. It's a television channel in Germany. So I'm not quite sure whether this game is going to be any good or not. I've not played the other two in the series, so chances are it's going to be a load of tut. RTL Winter Sports 2010 is the ultimate tournament event. I don't mind Winter Sports because years and years ago, because we used to have when we first got cable, we used to watch Eurosport, and they used to have all, I still do, all the skiing and biathlon and ski jumping and giant slalom and slalom and stuff like that, and it was always on a Saturday morning. I used to love watching skiing when I was a kid. I used to love skiing. Franz Klammer, Helmut Hofleiner, Leonard Stock, Marco Giardelli. Yeah, I used to love skiing. I used to love watching skiing. And those great British skiers as well. The Bell brothers. Yeah. Names escape me at the moment. Martin and Graham Bell. Pretty sure it was, yeah. And there was a guy called Conrad Bartelski who wasn't British, but he skied for Britain. Yeah. My knowledge of stuff like that is scary, really. So 8 exciting disciplines, which include snowboard cross, freeride skiing, downhill skiing, ski flying, which is sort of ski jumping, short track speed skating, biathlon, bobsled, and figure skating. Another skating game. So there'll be lots of that going on, and Wii remotes and things and whatever. And that was probably £1. I don't know. Can't remember what I spent now. It was 3 days ago. A lot of time's happened since then. I'd like to say some good games in here, but I'd be lying. Oh, Here's a reason why I'm lying. Dogs. Because they ain't got cats. This game should have gone to the vets. I'm a dog person. Actually, I like dogs and cats. Because there's no such thing as too much cute. Yes, sick buckets at the ready. Choose your favourite puppy from over 40 different breeds and make him. So obviously, that's alienated half the audience. And make him look adorable with clothing and accessories. No, you're making the dog look stupid. Dogs don't wear hats. They don't wear waistcoats. They don't wear little boots. Honestly, if the dogs could tell you, they would. Guide your lovable bundle of fur through 60 mini adventures, so not 28, 60. Use your sense of smell to get help from other animals. In brackets, dolphin, hippo. I'm pretty sure if a dog and a hippo got together, the hippo would eat the dog. I'm pretty sure of it. And create a comfortable pet village for your furry friends and defend it from against mean enemies. In brackets, wolf, rhino. So a rhino is far more dangerous than a hippopotamus. Compete against your friends in mini-games such as racing and treasure hunting. Well, this is the veritable bag of fun, isn't it? Oh, dear me. You can see why they dropped the price down to a couple of quid, can't you? Gamesforeveryone.com. And it's got the Ukes name on the back now. How's it there? If you know your wrestling games, you'll know that they used to. I think they used to do the WWE games. Pretty sure of it. May correct me on that one, I don't know. You'll be pleased to know there's only 2 games left to go. I'm pleased to know there's only 2 games left to go because this has been an appalling selection of I think to quote somebody who left a comment on my last video, an appalling selection of pickups there. Hey. Pick up, you don't have to. As long as we agree on that. This is Offroad Extreme. My hopes are not high because of the developer name in the corner here, which is Popcorn Arcade. Cunningly disguising themselves as not being Data Digital Interactive, who produce some absolutely dreadful games. Which reminds me, I must pop round to their old offices because they're quite close to where I live. Let's do a video. They just turned out a load of low quality fodder for most consoles. Race a variety of off-road vehicles through visually stunning environments. Include from a vast selection of detailed off-road machines with impressive unique track variations. Featuring realistic weather conditions. From carts to barger buggies, Offroad Extreme delivers a unique gameplay experience. It remains to be seen. Even the front cover looks a bit naff, doesn't it, really? I mean, nothing really exciting there. And possibly the most interesting game of a lot of them, and let's face it, it's up against pretty much no competition, is this one, which is the Mystery Case Files, the Malgrave Incident. Which I think as Mrs. Bear describes it, it looks like one of those point-and-click adventures, which means it could be mildly tolerable or a load of rubbish. And I don't think you can really argue with that. You'll notice as all these have got the old manuals. A lot of this is really good nick as well. Some really good-looking games in here. The boxes are great. The manual. I mean, I don't think that's. I say the reason I don't think it's ever actually been looked through. This is a sort of present somebody had for Christmas, where they've gone, "Oh, thank you very much, Auntie," and it's been put away, and they spent most of Christmas playing Mario Kart because it's got that inside it. You see, I think that's the instruction manual, safety guide for the Wii, the actual console itself. There's also a Wii booklet which features games such as Wii Party, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Mario Kart, and also Wii Fit Plus. The Xenoblade Chronicles, so it's got some real heavy hitters here, and then Mystery Case Files, the Malgrave Incident, and then there's also an advertisement for the Nintendo Selects range as well. I thought you might like to see that, because I know some of you like the stuff that's in here. And also, fascinating enough as well, there's a Club Nintendo with the silver scratch-off panel still intact. So I love picking these up. They're absolutely worthless, but looks like no one's ever actually paid this much attention at all in the slightest. So pick this up for £1. There we go. Stuff. Game. Done. Yeah, so there we go. That was a hard one, wasn't it? £35 that lot set me back there, which, yeah, it's got the Super Game Boy in there, it's got that Sega game which I'm immediately regretted buying, and a load of Wii Tat, which is great because that'll go on there somewhere, and that takes me closer to 50%. I think it's 49.5%, so I think another week or so and I'll hit 50 and go beyond that, and then we are on the slope to 100%. Whether I'll get there and how long it's going to take me to get there, I've really got no idea. Anyway, I'm sure you've had enough. I certainly have, and well, it's been thoroughly fun actually tonight. It's been quite good. I've quite enjoyed doing that. Thank you very much indeed for watching, because without you there is no me, and that's all very, very important. As I said at the start of the video, if you've never done it before, feel free to comment, feel free to tick the notification bell. If you haven't subscribed before, would love to have you subscribe, and also that other thing as well, which is the thumbs up. Tick the thumbs up, because that's nice as well, because I know that people enjoy what I do and it encourages me to do more. But again, all that remains to be saying is thank you very much indeed for watching. Do take care until next time. Until next time, bye for now.